Gentleman wrote me an email saying, Carmen, my car's about to be repossessed, I'm losing my house, I've got credit card debt, and I've lost my job. Now, what more could be worse? This guy's losing everything. And he said, is now a good time? Can I borrow from my 401k? There's a lot I would want to do with this gentleman. I would want to talk to him about what's going on with the house, the car, the job, and the credit cards I don't care about, I'll be honest with you. That's the least of my worries. I've got at least 3 to 4 months of just calls before they'll actually file a lawsuit, maybe 6 months. So I'm not worried about them right off the bat. If the car is going to be repossessed, we got to see if there's something we can do with the car. If the house is going to go into foreclosure, again, if they foreclose, I've still got a few months to keep them in that house before we have to give it up. The car is more of an immediate concern. And the job loss, well, that's going to be no income, but he can start working on finding a new job. Again, I could hold back a few things. The car is going to be a problem. That's my immediate concern. The 401k, a definite immediate concern, and here's why. Under Florida law, your 401 and federal law, your 401k is protected. So the federal law protects it. The Florida state statute says, yeah, that's protected if you're a Florida resident and you file bankruptcy. Now, the difference is if you take money out of the 401k before you file bankruptcy, we've got a problem. And the reason why is that goes to income in the means test, and once you take it out of the exempt asset, it becomes a non-exempt asset. So basically you're saying to the court, I've got $30,000 in my 401k, I'm going to take out 10 for a hardship. Well, that 10, if you're not eligible to waive the penalty, you're going to pay a 10% penalty under federal law. You're going to have to pay income tax on that $10,000, and then you're going to get charged with having an asset in your possession. What happens if you file bankruptcy and then take the money out 30 days later? You're still going to have to pay the penalty. You're still going to have to pay income tax on that money. But since the exemption is determined on the day you file the bankruptcy, and at the time all that money was in the 401k, it's 100% protected. So now you take the money out, and now your creditors can't get out of it or at it because that money now has become, in a Chapter 7 case, it's a post-filing asset, and it's not determined to be part of your bankruptcy estate. It's just that simple. Once you exempt it, it's outside, it's gone. We don't have to worry about it anymore. If you take the money out after you file bankruptcy, you're better off. So this gentleman, that's what I would counsel him to do. What about a 401k loan? Now, this is a different scenario. 401k loans, believe it or not, I like them. As crazy as that sounds, I never want you to take money out of your account, but if you can borrow from your 401k and pay yourself back, I get a benefit for that under the means test. Now, sometimes it's not needed, other times it is. But if I'm paying back a loan to myself, I'm okay with that. I borrowed the money from myself. Hopefully I'm getting a good interest rate, but I'm replenishing my retirement plan. So I'm not too bad with 401k loans, but I'd much rather you borrow it after you file in a Chapter 7 case, because then you can potentially buy a car or help yourself move, or buy, if you need money to save your home. I'm okay with that because you're borrowing from yourself and you know you have to pay that money back, or else you're going to get hit with the income tax on that money you took out. So, I prefer, think of it this way, folks. Any type of retirement plan you have, if it's protected under Florida law from your creditors, the only thing you do by taking that money out is expose it to your creditors. If you're eligible to file a bankruptcy first, I would much rather you do that. Get rid of as much debt as you can, then take the money out of the 401k when you have no creditors who can come after it. It's a much better scenario. So again, there's rules and laws in place to protect those retirement plans. If you never have to touch your 401k or your IRA until retirement time, fantastic. That's what that money was put there for. You've put it away all these years, you've let it grow, grow, grow. Good for you. If you have to tap into it because you're losing your home or something, I understand that. But make sure you get the proper advice before you do it, so you understand about the penalty, about the taxes, and that 10 grand that you're taking out may turn out to be a $6,500 withdrawal as opposed to a $10,000 withdrawal. So be very, very careful on that. Again, I'm not a tax professional, I'm not an investment professional, nor do I claim to be one. So you got to be careful there. My advice is only as good as what it's for, and that's to protect your finances going forward. So thank you.